Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Helen and today I am taking part in a collaboration with some really nice people, and we're going to do a September day in the life of our kitchen. It's just a mixture of different things that we do in the day in our kitchens. I'm going to put down all the lovely ladies taking part, put them all down for you so you can see them, and all the links for their videos will be in my description. So please, once you've watched my video, take a look at theirs, and if you like them, subscribe. I'm sure they'd love to absolutely have you join their channels. And if you are coming over from someone else's channel, welcome. Thank you for coming to watch my video. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd love to have you here. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it. It helps out the channel a lot. So let's get on and show you my day in the life. These are the wonderful women doing the project with me: Fiona in a kitchen, Mummy Cooks Homemade, Shorty Tall Family, and the Upton-Millard family. So I often start off my day. This was a shopping day, so I like to prep my veg, my fruit, get everything washed that needs washing, because obviously not everything needs to be washed, but I like to get this all prepared, ready for the week, just to make life a little bit easier, to make things more readily available for everybody. As you can see, that's my daughter in the background making some toast, which look like massive doorstep pieces of bread there, but that's her gluten-free bread. So she's just making breakfast. We'd had our shopping delivered first thing in the morning, and that's me after putting everything away. I leave out the bits that need to be prepared, and then I get on and I start doing those. So I'm just about to wash the little gem lettuce, and then I move on to something else as well, because while I'm waiting for the lettuce to dry, you know, I get on, move on to something else, and I'm always kind of doing one or two things at a time. I'm just putting strawberries in there now. Don't wash strawberries because they go bad really fast if they've been washed. So I picked up one bad one, put the rest in the tub. Then I moved on to the mango. And again, that goes into the tub. So I'm just gonna chop that up. That one wasn't quite ready though. And it's funny because it felt like it was quite ripe until I started to cut it, and I realised it was a bit harder than I would usually cut them. So a little bit of background about me, if you don't know much about me, maybe you know you're watching from one of the other channels from these lovely ladies. I do have some health conditions, and I do have quite a busy life. I am a carer for my children that have medical conditions, and I do have my own health to consider as well. So my day in the life isn't a manic, you know, really busy in the kitchen kind of day, as opposed to what some people's is like. For me, it's a lot. You know, this is one of my busier days in the kitchen, but I'm out doing, you know, school runs and bits and pieces. I'm doing stuff, and here I am on a phone call. So I'm doing phone calls at the same time as trying to cut the veg and fruit, get everything ready. It's just like, I can't just sit down and just do something. I have to be doing 2 or 3 things at once. It's just the way it is. The one thing that I didn't put in this video was the washing. So you will see in a little bit there's like washing basket on the floor, so I've done some washing as well, which is a kitchen thing, but it's not a food thing, so I didn't put it in because I wasn't sure you'd really want to see me do my washing or not. So that's the mango all cut up and put into the tub. Started on the peppers. This is the messiest I've ever cut peppers. I don't know what I was doing this day. I know I was so distracted by this phone call, and I've just made a right mess with the seeds, and I'm usually like, I hate the seeds getting everywhere, so I'm usually do it really neatly. but I was kind of rushing a little bit more on this day. And there's me taking a phone call. I think I had waited something like 40 minutes on hold for this phone call, and it was like really important, so having to take that at the same time. That's kind of often the way in the kitchen, isn't it? Like, you're doing something, the kids coming in and out, you're trying to get everything done, you're trying to wash, clean, cook, prep. But I do find the prepping does make my life easier, and I know I've said it 1,000 times in my videos, but my kids are more likely to eat things if they're just ready to go, like the peppers. They won't come in and chop a pepper to eat it, but if it's all chopped up in the fridge, they'll just take the dish out and just start munching peppers, and I'd rather they ate it and they're eating well. So these are the things that I do to sort of make my life easier and help my family. And I actually realised when I was cutting them how blunt my knives are. They were really struggling to get through the peppers. I definitely need to sharpen those. So I find that these are the best tubs to actually put the peppers in. They stay fresh for over a week, kind of about 10 days I'd say. And that's just a glass Pyrex dish. It's actually a plastic lid that goes on this one. But I find these really, really good. In fact, they tend to finish those peppers before they go off, but every now and again there's like a few left 10 days later and they still don't look too bad. So that's just me showing you what I've done. So I had left that lettuce to dry on the drainer for a little while, but obviously it just doesn't get rid of most of the moisture, so it needs to be spun around like that. It was still quite wet after I spun it as well. As you'll see in a second, I start spinning it again because it's just still quite moist. As you can see, there's more children and dogs in the background. It's just like constantly busy. Like, I'm sure you guys know what it's like. Now these tubs I absolutely love for my fruit and veg, and it's keeping the salad really fresh for absolutely ages, much longer than it usually would be, especially since it's been washed. So I find that when I start washing fruit and vegetables, they don't last as long, so there's only a few that I actually wash ready to go. Thing is, I won't eat this unless it's all washed and ready to go. I'm really bad. I just don't have the time to sit there stripping lettuce and washing it every time I want to eat some, so I find this great. Now this is me emptying out the fridge, because obviously, like I said, this was shopping day, so I emptied out the fridge and we had a ton of leftovers and rubbish this week. I'm really quite embarrassed. We usually don't have this much. So there was potatoes left over from a dinner. That was rice pudding in that pinky coloured tub. Nobody had really eaten the strawberries and grapes that week. I don't know why. And then I just had some leftovers of a dinner I didn't like, but I kept just in case I needed something to eat. But I really just didn't fancy it. And that goop, well, yeah, I don't know why that got put in a tub. I didn't do it. Just some manky old salad and a really bendy courgette, and then a manky carrot. So I throw those away into our food wastage bin there. We get special food bags that goes out, so it all goes to be, when I say recycled, I don't know if that's the right word, composted I suppose is more. Yeah, so this is the fridge after. So I emptied everything out, I cleaned it, and then I got everything in. Bit messy that week, but it was kind of hard to fit all the bits and pieces in in the right places, because I kind of like to have some sort of order to my fridge where I know where everything is. So at this point, it was about lunchtime now, so I decided to make, let's make it an eggshell in it. I'm terrible for getting eggshell in. So I decided to make some egg bites for the kids that like them. So I think I did about, I don't know if there was 8 or 9 eggs left in there. I just threw them all in. And now disappeared. I thought I cut out all the disappearing, but obviously not. Yeah, so just throw in some salt and pepper. I don't know if I put any other seasonings in this on this day. I don't think I did, you know. And then I was just cutting up some ham. So I cut it lengthwise into a few strips and then just bunched them together and chopped it into small pieces into the egg mix. So my daughter is dairy free, which is why there is no cheese in this mix. So I do put a little bit of rice milk into this mixture. Oh, there it is, yeah, rice milk. Just to fluff it up a little bit. It kind of works the same way as cow's milk does. But if you can see, oh, there's my little dog. And my pile of washing in the background. I do apologise for that, but you know, this is a true life kitchen here. Sorry, but this is real life and I'm not perfect. So I've colour coded the egg bites so I know whose is who. So I've just put cheese into that leftover mix so that everyone else can have cheese, so everyone else can have those. As it turns out, there wasn't a lot left and only one person wanted them. So my son got the orange and the green ones, and then my daughter knew that the purple and the blue were for her. So that was really handy. So I was just making some lunch. I was deciding to cut myself up an orange, and my little one decided that actually she was going to try a piece of orange and said it was so nice and ended up eating the whole lot. So that was a little bit annoying. I just started like cutting it up nicely, and then she said, oh, can I have a bit? I'm like, yeah, of course you can. Obviously encouraging them. See, there's a hand. Encouraging the kids to eat fruit and stuff, but again, she won't pick up an apple, an orange, anything, and actually eat it. But where it was all cut up, she was happy to eat it. So then I had to cut another orange. Those are the egg bites all done and ready. So they had some of those with their lunch. This was my lunch, and a very odd lunch. And I often don't eat lunch, but I was quite hungry that day, so I had some potato waffles, a bit of ham, and had the orange, and that orange juice actually dripped into the waffle. It was horrible. So early afternoon I started to prepare the dinner. Some days I have to go out at 5 o'clock, and then other days I have to go out at 6 o'clock. So it's really, really difficult trying to get a dinner cooked for that time to make sure that the kids have got a dinner. Some days it just doesn't really happen, and we end up eating a bit of crap, or we have a late dinner, or we have a really early dinner. On this day I was making potato wedges, and I had a roast in the bag chicken. I didn't have time to get a lot of veg done for this, but I just wanted, like, obviously I like us to eat proper food and real food as much as we can. So this was my attempt at trying to get a decent dinner done in time to pick up my eldest. So I washed those out, and I just soaked them in cold water just while I was busy getting everything ready, because I didn't do the whole dinner straight away, so I didn't want the potatoes to go brown or horrible or anything. And then a bit later on I've drained them and I'm just drying them. Sorry for my fat arm going across the camera. But I had to dry, there we go, I had to dry the potatoes off a little bit. Even though they had been draining, they were still just a little bit damp, and you're not going to get nice crispy potatoes if they're wet. So I put a bit of olive oil on them, and I had this packet mix. It's one that I hadn't used before, and I have to be quite careful with things that I eat, so I didn't put too much on. It was a loaded fries packet mix. I put a lot more on than it looks like I did, but I didn't put a lot of the packet, and I decided to add my own seasoning. So I put on some salt and pepper, garlic granules, and onion, I don't know if it's onion powder or onion granules, I can't remember. So I put those on just to add to the flavourings a little bit. I didn't want it to have too much on. And I have to be careful with them packet mixes because one of my daughters is gluten-free, and a lot of those packet mixes do have wheat in, so I just have to be careful with those. That one didn't. And this was a nice dinner that all of us could eat. So I put those in the oven for about an hour. I cooked them quite slow. At the same time the chicken took to cook, so I just did some broccoli to go with that. Those wedges were really crispy and lovely. This is the aftermath, absolute mess. So I wanted to show you the aftermath of dinner, and then I was going to do a little video clip of after I'd washed up and cleaned up, because it was a mess, absolute mess. But I actually forgot. Just want to say a massive thank you for watching, and also a massive thank you to the other ladies doing this collab. Thanks everybody for watching and supporting this channel. So on this channel I have shopping hauls, cooking videos, meals of the week videos, and some collaborations as well. So if that's your thing, please consider subscribing to my channel, as I'd love to have you. And go and check out these wonderful women. I'm gonna put their details up now for you.